Okay, so I got a request. When I did the Why Trump Right Now video, it basically said he is here to give us a new outlook. So the request is, are we ready to move on? Because if not, he will be reelected or somebody like him. But if we are, what is our next lesson? Are we ready to move on to a more progressive society? And who would fit that best? So we're going to do 3 readings here. I think 3, maybe 2, I don't know. First things first. Are we ready to move on from Donald Trump? Are we ready to move on? Situation. 7 of Wands. A battle and a defense. So we are still entangled with Trump. 6 of Wands. Influence. The celebrated person. That would be him. The negative. 3 of Pentacles. Partnerships. Collaborations. The positive. The Empress. There is a new birth, a new energy around America right now. Outcome. Justice. We are ready to move on. There's a balance and a authority and a wisdom that has come out of these 4 years, or that will come out of the 4 years. Even if he doesn't make it, it'll still be 4 years before, you know, another president is changed. So, or another administration anyway. So we are ready to move on. Now, what is the next lesson we have to learn? Trump taught us about ignoring the past. These sort of 1950s thinkers. And Obama taught us about the future and what it could look like for America. Bush taught us about ignoring things, covering things up, not taking care of business. Our economy crashed. So ignoring your responsibilities. So what's the next lesson we need to learn? Community. That's what I get already. Community. We may have to fight to remove the stigma against socialism, or the word anyway. Because to be an industrialized nation with no healthcare system. Anyway, so what's the next lesson we need to learn? Knight of Cups. Choosing wisely. Wisdom and logic. That's what we need to learn. Trump taught us about the past, that the past is still very much alive in a lot of us. Bush taught us about ignoring responsibilities. Obama taught us about what the future could look like. Right now, we need to learn to think logically. Now, how does the Knight of Cups say that? The Knight of Cups is an idealistic person. This is a person of charm and wit and romance, but it's lip service. We need to be more deductive in our reasoning. We need to be able to look past the flowers and see the person holding the flowers. Page of Wands. The actions. News on the actions. So, well, let me lay it out and then we'll see. Knight of Pentacles. Stability. The Chariot. Moving forward. Self-discipline. King of Swords. Logical person. The Nine of Cups. Desires. Wishes. Five of Pentacles. Hardship. The Emperor. King of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Ace of Swords. And the Knight of Swords. Yes, that's what it is. So what we need to learn next is how to not hear something and then that person is instantly our hero. I said this in the Michael Avenatti video. Just because you like a person does not mean that that person is right for you. The Knight of Cups is a person of charm, beauty, wit, romance, lip service. We do this a lot. They come out, they say the right things, and then next thing you know, a report comes out and then we're all disappointed. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson shared a method of picking a role model that everyone should use, I believe. He does not role model or model himself after a person. He takes the traits of a person that he likes and then builds his model and then models himself after that. So if you like, let's say Bill, what's the man's name? Bill Gates' business sense. Take the business sense, believe the rest of him. That way, if he does something, you know, out of the ordinary, he doesn't disappoint you because you didn't take the whole person. You just took what you needed from that person. Don't go and fall victim to the lip service. This is a card of action. It's also a card of news. So be proactive on your part. They said the right things. Okay, fine. I'm glad you said the right things. Now let me look at your actions. What have you done to indicate that that's how you really feel? Cory Booker is the same person who came out, said he was, you know, this and that, and everybody liked him and he should run for president. He would be so good. And then when the vote came down to import generic medication from Canada to lower the cost of medication here in the US, he voted no. And then changed his vote because he got political pressure and then he apologized. I don't need the lip service when your action told me that you just voted no on lowering the cost of medication. You have to give me more than lip service. You have to go do we have to go do the research to find out if that's how they really live and feel and then behave. The Knight of Pentacles is about stability, reliability. They need to be more than just ideals. They have to be reliable. They have to be logical. This is the King of Swords. This is a logical person, a person who is thought out. We don't need to rule ourselves on emotions anymore. The Chariot, self-discipline. This is about us. There's your wishes and desires. Your wishes and desires do not need to take precedence over your self-discipline. This is wishful thinking. And our fear is being shunned and thrown out and hardship and all of that. Of course it is. That's anybody's fear. But the way you get here is by buying the lip service without the action. The Emperor is your hopes that this is the authority. This is the just. This is the order. The logical person. The person who is thoughtful, who backs up their actions, who backs up their lip service with action. The King of Pentacles is a person of stability. So we need logical, stable, reliable, not just lip service. We're coming into the election season where everybody sounds good. In the background, from the reliable person, don't just take what's offered. Take what's proven, not what's offered. This is lip service. This is our next lesson. We have to learn to be more deductive in our reasoning. We have to learn to sift through the garbage, through just the lip service. Our word of warning is the Eight of Swords. We get bound by our emotions. This person's hands are free, mind you. They can untie themselves. They can unbind themselves. They can even stand up. Their knees are on the ground. They're not standing, they're taller than the swords. We bind ourselves by buying into the lip service. The word of solace is truth and clarity. See through that. Your outcome, the Knight of Swords, a person of truth and clarity. That's what you need to look for. So when someone comes to you and says, I am about community, I am about helping the American people, and then they go and they vote for no on lowering the cost of drugs, go with the person who backs up their actions. Go with the person who is more logical and reliable. Now that could be Corey now. Good for him. But look at this person's actions after the lip service. Does it match the lip service? Does it match the rhetoric? Does it match what they were telling you? That's our next lesson. We cannot keep voting on emotion. We have to vote on logic. We have to do some research. We have to go and figure these things out. Now, who, we'll do 4 cards. Who is the next person? Or who would be good? That was the request. Who would be good for ushering the new age? Or ushering the new lesson? Who would be good for that? 5 of Wands, the Devil, the Hangman, the 9 of Wands, one more, the 9 of Swords. Interesting. So the cards did not say who would be good for that. Here's one. Within ourselves, we are still divided. The Five of Wands is a card of battle, a card of inner conflict, not inner as in your personal inner as in the group. There is fighting amongst the group. It is about outlook, and it is about chains, it is about tradition, it is about the nastiness, it is about everything. It comes from all angles. The devil is something we are chained to. We are chained to emotion. You need the new outlook. But there is a resistance to that, because some of us will not bow into the self-sacrifice. For we want in particular things, this is the Bernie and Bus type of thing, where if I don't get what I want, then I'm not voting at all. And then you get Jill Stein and Donald Trump. That's how you get that. When one side won't budge from their ideals and the other one says you need to sacrifice and join me. And then you get despair. The Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety and despair. Haunted. And this is battle worn, battle weary. So we are ready to move on from Donald Trump, but that's your warning. Someone is going to emerge that not all Democrats think should be the nominee. So let's say everyone is around or in favor of Beto and not Biden. And then Biden gets the nomination. The way you elect Trump is to say, I don't want Biden, I want Beto, and if I don't get Beto, I'm not voting. Then you have elected, what's that guy's name from Starbucks? You elected the Starbucks guy and Donald Trump, just like Jill Stein and Donald Trump. So you may have to self-sacrifice. It may be a majority of Democrats who don't want an in particular person, so that in particular person just may get in. So whoever is probably the least favorite is probably the one who will emerge the nominee. But time will tell.